Good morning, MOT 400. Yes, welcome to week 7, Ethics in Action. This week, what do we have on board? We are going to be looking at that IRB application. You're going to take what you've done over the last 6 weeks and we're going to start to put it together. You have been working on this, so don't panic. You've got a lot of the pieces already there. It's now a matter of putting it together into a draft. Once we look at that draft, we're going to refine and polish it, and we're going to create a beautiful, wonderful, awesome IRB application. So let's go look at the timeline where we were and where we are. So week 1, you guys did a lot of group norms. You did some storming, norming, conforming, and hopefully by now you guys are performing. So in week 2, you refined your PICO questions, started to look at that literature. Week 3, I know some of you still worked on your question, started to do that annotated bibliography. Week 4, here's where you actually started working on pieces of this IRB proposal. You guys came up with a sample and recruitment section. This should have included inclusion, exclusion criteria, where you're going to get your population from, who they are, and also any flyers or any kind of social media posts that you might use. This is all stuff that you're going to need to bring forward. In week 5, you talked about what kind of methodology you were going to do. You wanted to have a research design. You also drafted possibly some of your outcome measures, okay? So that if you're doing a survey, you started to brainstorm what type of survey you were going to use, or was there a commercially available product that you could access? Week 6, that's last week, you finished your annotated bibliography, submitted that, and you started, hopefully, to pull that together as a group into a synthesized lit review. Now, the lit review is not due this week. It will be a draft due next week, but that is coming forward. Last week in your live session, you also worked on a research worksheet where you started to define all the other parts of the IRB, including the research design, you put the sample together, the methods, and the outcome measures. Hopefully you started to talk about confidentiality and protection of data. You might have gotten to some data analysis, all right? Now we're in week 7, and you're gonna put all of that together into a draft IRB proposal. You'll slap on an introduction. You'll include all the information that you did on your working document last week. And during your live this week, you'll start to develop consent forms. We don't need those in the draft. If they're ready to go, that's great. All right. We will be reviewing what the IRB package looks like this week, but here's just a little preview. We have a number of forms that are already PDF fillers to make this a little bit easier for you. But this is our institutional review board. I'm not sure why the emblem's not showing there, but usually it does. This is the cover page. So everyone will have to fill out this cover page, all right? It's a pre-fillable. You're just going to cut and paste into it. This is what you put on the front of your research proposal. Behind that is where you're going to put the information that you've been working on. Your introduction, eventually followed by your lit review, then your methodology, your sampling, your procedures, your outcome measures, etc., etc. And at the end of that, you put your appendices. And in your appendices, you should include the consent forms, any social media posts or flyers you're using for recruitment, a copy of your survey or outcome measures, and then your human subjects forms certificates that you got in 300. That will form the complete IRB package. But just to show you, we do have fillable informed consent forms to make it easy and make sure all the language is consistent. It looks like this one needs a little bit of work because I'm noticing, well, actually it is letting you type into it. So I don't know why it's grayed and not grayed out, but you should be able to type in under all the sections to add your information. And that's how you'll create the informed consent form if needed. You'll be working on these. And then you don't need to do this for the draft, but you will need to do this for your final proposal. This is a checklist to make sure you've got everything needed before you submit that final package. I will put these 3 forms into an announcement shortly, and I will also include them in materials in week 7. All right, have a wonderful day and look forward to seeing you this week.